So what's up, everybody? Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Seen an interesting article from Ravens Wire. Willie Snead, Dez Bryant, and Marquise Brown point to growing unhappiness in the Ravens offense. I know Hollywood Brown was out there last year bitching and complaining about not getting the ball enough, this and that. Willie Snead puts out the tweet. He goes, any receiver can be a quote, true number one if they are in a system that allows them to be. What they do after that is on him 100%. Da da da. If you give any receiver 100 plus targets, if they worth a damn, they'll be considered a number one because they had plenty of opportunities to show it. If you're going to talk, speak facts, not name drop. So basically, Willie Snead put out his tweet and then responded to some random dude on Twitter. And then, he puts more tweets. They hate when you become more than they expect. I mean, Willie Snead, what are you talking about right now? Who expects anything out of you? What has Willie Snead done really in the NFL? When does he ever make headlines other than tweeting out some controversial shit? Like, this is all Willie Snead is known for, is tweeting controversial things. He's never talked about making big plays on the field or making a Pro Bowl or having a good game or being the reason the team won a game. Willie Snead never gets headlines for that. He's always getting headlines for tweeting out some dumb stuff. And then Hollywood Brown, gives him the emoji, the 100 emoji. Basically, they feel that, there's a lot of hate coming down on Marquise Brown from the Ravens fan base and the mainstream media talking about how the Ravens don't have a legit, true number one wide receiver. And I guess they're pretty much making their case. They're blaming it on the system and the coaching because there's a lot of Ravens fans out there that say Greg Roman needs to get fired. A lot of Ravens fans say Jim Harbaugh needs to get fired. And they're basically blaming it on the system. They're not throwing the ball enough because the Ravens basically were dead last in passing this year, 32nd in the league in passing yards this year. Past 2 years, they were the worst, led the least amount of passing attempts in the entire league. So they're basically blaming it on the system. But at the end of the day, the system is built around Lamar Jackson. So to blame Greg Roman, to blame Jim Harbaugh, I think is ridiculous because Baltimore, they're in love with Lamar Jackson. All they will ever bring up is his MVP season, which is a great season. But the main reason he won MVP was because of his legs. I mean, he was good when it comes to passing the ball. I think he had, 30? He led the league in touchdown passes, barely threw any interceptions. But he doesn't throw the ball for a lot of yards. Everything is built around the run game and the fact that defenses have to pinch up and address the run game. And Lamar just gets them easy passes. He can roll out. He can extend plays and, harder for teams to sack Lamar Jackson, which gives him some more times, coverage breakdowns, and he gets easy completions basically off his legs. But without his legs, Lamar Jackson's not a quarterback. The guy can't throw the ball. The system is built around Lamar Jackson, and now all these players are speaking out against it. So can this team coexist with Lamar Jackson at quarterback? I don't care who the coach is. I think the coaches are doing well. I think Greg Roman and Jim and Harbaugh are basically putting in the system that suits Lamar Jackson because his ineptitude and his inability to pass the ball. Can he pass the ball pretty good? Yeah. I mean, can he throw the ball deep? Yeah. I mean, he's somewhat accurate, I guess, but he's not like a multi-read quarterback. Tom Brady is like a statue. Peyton Manning's like a statue, but they were so great at being able to read and recognize defenses. That's what separates them. That's what makes a quarterback, is being able to call the plays at the line, being able to read and recognize defenses. Can Lamar Jackson eventually develop that talent? Maybe, but the dude, he's like a one-read, maybe a two-read quarterback. If his first option isn't there, the guy's running the ball. So the coaching staff has to adjust and put in plays that Lamar Jackson can run. The little play-action bootlegs, the Wildcat offense. It's basically a college/high school gadget offense that they run because Lamar Jackson isn't a real quarterback. The guy can't throw the ball. So, I mean, all these dudes can really do is get open. They shouldn't be crying. Especially a Willie Snead. He's like a possession slot type of receiver. The fact that they run the ball so much, it makes it so much easier for him because linebackers are pinching up to stop the run. And it gives him easy catches over the middle of the field. Willie Snead ain't no number one. I don't care if he has Drew Brees. He wasn't a number one receiver when Drew Brees was throwing him the ball. So, so the dude, he wouldn't be a number one receiver anywhere. Marquise Brown, maybe, but I don't think he's a number one wide receiver. Look at all the receivers they drafted this year that have way more potential and upside, in my opinion, than Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown's got some talent, but is he a number one? I don't know. I mean, do they have a point? The fact that they're not getting as many targets as some of the big name, bigger wide receivers? Yeah, probably. But it's not on coaching. I think the coaches are doing what they have to do with the quarterback, like I said, who can't throw the ball. So you got to face it, Baltimore. You ain't going to win nothing with Lamar Jackson. There's already chaos and anarchy happening in this offseason. It was happening in the season. One of your best offensive tackles wants to get traded. You got a bunch of free agents. Your two best pass rushers are free agents right now. Your best lineman got hurt this year. Who knows if he'll be the same? He might be the same. You got rid of Mark Ingram. So, and your whole wide receiving core is unhappy. Dez Bryant, Willie Snead, and Marquise Brown. So what's going to happen with Baltimore? Are they going to draft a quarterback? In my opinion, I hope they, I mean, if it was me, if I was running the Baltimore Ravens organization, I would definitely draft a quarterback. Maybe you get a Trey Lance falls to you or a Mac Jones. You take that. That dude can actually throw the ball a little bit, throw the ball down the field. He's built to be a quarterback in the NFL. Lamar Jackson, once his legs goes, eventually one of these times, I hate to say it, but the way he runs the ball, the amount of times he runs the ball every year, eventually there's going to be a linebacker that gets a hold of him. He's going to hurt his knee. He's going to hurt his arm. He's going to fall on his shoulder. He's going to get hit too hard. And then say if he gets a lower body injury, a big ankle injury, an ACL, something like that, Lamar Jackson will never be the same. So if from my perspective, I would go for a new quarterback. As a Steeler fan's perspective, I hope they give Lamar Jackson the big money. I hope they give him big money. I hope they extend him to a long-term $35, $40 million per year deal for Lamar Jackson. And then they'll be in salary cap hell with a quarterback who can't throw the ball. And then they'll eventually lose talent on defense, lose talent on offense. And that's really where Baltimore is elite, is their defense. Let's be honest. Baltimore, since they've come into the league, has been a run-first, defensive-minded team. This philosophy starts from the top down. It's a top-down. Back when Ozzie Newsome was the general manager, and the trend continues. I mean, for a little bit there, they tried to be a pass-happy offense with Flacco, and we all seen how that worked out. Didn't work out too good for Baltimore. Baltimore has won 2 Super Bowls with that philosophy, run first and defense. So are they going to get rid of some of these receivers? Are they going to draft some new receivers? That might be the case. That might be the guy go out there, sign a couple free agent wide receivers, possession type wide receivers, draft a receiver. You can live without Willie Snead. Willie Snead, that dude's a clown. That dude is a straight clown. Hasn't done nothing in his career. Marquise Brown, I would say put up or shut up, bud. Like, seriously, this drama, we don't need this drama. This is the system. This is a system that's pretty much won us division last year, got us deep in the playoffs this year. And that's the system that we're going to run in Baltimore. That's the system we've always ran in Baltimore. So you either get with the program or go with a new program, because Lamar Jackson's not a quarterback. They're always going to be a run-first offense with Lamar Jackson playing the quarterback position, period. You might as well face the facts. I'll get you something to eat in a minute. I'm on the phone. 10 minutes, I'll be up. I'll get you a bowl of cereal. So, yeah, I just want to talk about this report. Let's see if there's anybody that joined into this broadcast for a little bit. Clear for Lamar Jackson, best quarterback in the NFL. Brandon says, shut your ass up. Greg Roman, should have the Texas. Yeah, I think Greg Roman is I think he's a good offensive coordinator, given the fact he's getting so much hate, especially from Baltimore fans. I don't know, because they say he needs to be fired. I see so many Baltimore fans saying he should be fired and media people saying he should be fired. I mean, he's doing what he has to do. The offense that they're giving him, or the quarterback that they have to run that type of offense. They have to run a gadget offense because Lamar can't drop back and pass it like a Drew Brees or Tom Brady. He can't go into an empty set and just go through his progressions and make reads. I mean, if his first or second read isn't there, Lamar Jackson's running the ball. Period. He's running the ball. Is he good? Is he talented? Could he go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, rushing quarterback ever of all time in NFL history? Yeah, that definitely could happen with Lamar Jackson. I mean, the dude is amazing in terms of running the ball, but passing the ball, this is what you get. You get a wide receiving core, multiple wide receivers who are unhappy, especially in today's league, a pass-happy league with all these diva wide receivers. This is what happens. This is what happens. Everybody says it's Tomlin's a terrible coach because of AB and all this shit, but this is how receivers are. And even before nowadays, I mean, you had the Terrell Owenses and the Randy Mosses and the Chad Ochocinco's. I mean, receivers are divas. That's what they are. They're divas. They've always been divas, and they'll always be divas. You got a run-happy offense. Your receivers are going to be unhappy. So we'll see what the Baltimore Ravens are going to do. I think the fan base is fully behind Lamar Jackson. You can't say nothing bad about Lamar Jackson to a Baltimore Ravens fan, or their panties will get all into a bunch. But it's the truth. They're running a gadget high school, college offense because Lamar Jackson is inept in terms of passing the ball. He's not an elite passer of the ball. I'd say Joe Burrow, Big Ben, hell, Mason Rudolph, Case Keenum. They all can pass the ball and read defenses better than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson just has one of the best. He's one of the fastest dudes in the league. He's one of the greatest rushing quarterbacks ever, could go down as one of the greatest rushing quarterbacks ever. I mean, he broke Michael Vick's single-season rushing record. I think he ran for 1,000 this year. So if he keeps up at this pace, I think Vick has like 7,000 career rushing yards. But, I mean, obviously the dog scandal and his prison term kind of shut him down because Vick was just unreal. I mean, he would break off just ridiculous runs. But Lamar's doing the same thing. I mean, Lamar, if he can stay healthy, that's the thing. I don't think Lamar's health, I mean, you give him a big contract and he goes down with the way he runs the ball as much as he runs the ball, he's going to end up getting hurt. Vick was hurt all the time. I remember Matt Schaub would always have to come in there and back him up. And he was a quality backup. So it's going to happen eventually, Lamar. So are they going to move on from these receivers? Are they going to think about drafting a quarterback in this draft? I don't know. Are they going to draft new receivers? I don't know. But I do know that those receivers are never going to be happy with Lamar Jackson playing quarterback because, let's face it, that's the best you're going to get out of Lamar. I mean, maybe he can improve his passing a little bit, but Lamar, the tape is out on Lamar. Teams are starting to figure out Lamar. They're figuring out this gadget offense. It might work for a year or two, but the more and more tape that comes out on Lamar Jackson and they figure out these read options and what they're trying to do, we've seen the best out of Lamar Jackson. I don't think it gets any better. I think it's all downhill from here for Lamar Jackson. So, Baltimore, you got to face it. You need to get a real quarterback, or I don't see you guys winning the Super Bowl. Especially, I think he has, 2 more years left on his rookie contract, 1 more year left on his rookie contract. When you pay him the big money, it's going to be this is going to be funny in Baltimore because you're going to start losing all that talent on defense, which is the real reason you guys are winning games. And you got 2 good running backs who are going to be wanting a contract here soon. Gus Edwards is probably going to want a contract here. J.K. Dobbins is another great running back who's, will demand a big contract. So we'll see. We'll see what Baltimore does. But I do know Lamar Jackson is not a legitimate quarterback in the NFL. He's a running back disguised as quarterback. So I want to talk about this, talk a little trash on Baltimore, give my opinions on this report that came out. So, yeah, I'm going to end this one now.